Today is a day set aside for veterans, and as the mayor mentioned, it's not just today, but it should be every day that we remember our veterans. But it is important to reflect simply on the creation of this Veterans Day that we have, formerly known as Armistice Day. Originally set as a U.S. legal holiday to honor the end of World War I, which took place on November 11, 1918. But subsequent to that legislation, which was dedicated to the cause of world peace, we had World War II and the Korean War. And so in 1954, the United States Congress, at the urging of the veteran service organizations, amended the law by striking out armistice and inserting veterans. And so then this became the day that we honor American veterans of all wars. And so with that history in mind, we have to celebrate the veterans that are with us today, those that are throughout Arkansas and our nation. Ronald Reagan, and I'll mention him a couple times in today's remarks. I served under the administration of Ronald Reagan as United States Attorney. He's a mentor, he's a lighthouse, he's a beacon in my mind for those in public service and those that stand for our veterans and the strength of America. But he once said, "I don't have to tell you how fragile this precious gift of freedom is. Every time we hear, watch, or read the news, we are reminded that liberty is a rare commodity in this world," end quote. And that was said while he was president in the 1980s. As you watch the news today, with challenges across the globe, we can say that liberty remains at stake, and we have to rely upon those in the military, those that have served our country, to be strong and vigilant to protect our freedoms. And today, we honor our veterans. How do we honor them? We honor them by giving them the opportunity, first of all, to use their skills and leadership in the private sector. I see my Director of Economic Development, Mike Preston, standing guard behind us there. Thank you for joining us, Mike, and I think the fact that our Head of Economic Development is here today recognizes that when our veterans come back after they served, they want, first of all, a job and an opportunity to use their skills and leadership opportunities. We recognize that in Arkansas and want to be able to promote it. But also in the public sector, it's good to see veterans engaged in the public arena. We also want to recognize their contributions and their sacrifice, and we do that in occasions like today. And we gather here today, and we need to remember that we have to pass along that recognition and celebration to the next generation of young people. We honor our veterans by honoring the flag of the United States of America, by standing at attention when we sing our national anthem, and by living our freedoms every day. And we have to be patient and understanding, but we must teach the next generation that the flag is about freedom, but it's also representing and precious to those veterans who have learned in their military service patriotism, love of country, and the willingness to sacrifice all, and that willingness to sacrifice needs to be respected, and we need to teach that. We honor our veterans. We honor our veterans by equipping our current military with the best fighting tools and support that we can offer to them. We do not want them to go into the battlefield without the best armament, without the best protection, without the best fighting tools. Ronald Reagan, as you remember, always called the old Soviet Union the evil empire. He got a little criticism from that from time to time from the Washington Press Corps. And during his second term, he went to the Soviet Union and he met the Russian people, and he came back and remarked that, the Russian people had a sense of humor. They seemed nice and warm and friendly and wanted many of the same things that we want in America. Helen Thomas with the White House Press Corps, the famed correspondent, blurted out and asked the president, sarcastically, well, don't you wish you would have known that 10 years ago? And he said, well, Helen, they weren't that way 10 years ago. And he simply recognized that America had to be strong. And when America is strong, the world changes. And we lead the world, and we must do that. And so in Arkansas, we have 250,000 veterans. Let's honor them every day. Let's support them. Let's give them the opportunities that they deserve. Today is special because we opened the Arkansas Veterans Home at North Little Rock. This facility is incredible. For all of you that supported it, this is a day that we can rejoice that we have done something that our veterans wanted, that they have supported, and that will serve them into the future. The 31-acre site here will allow for future expansion with space to construct an additional 4 small homes, 96-bed skilled nursing facility, with each small home being 14,000 square feet. And so, congratulations, Matt, and for all of your team for pulling this together. And by the way, Matt, congratulations for the early completion of the AdvisToTreat goal number 1. You had a deadline of 2020 in your strategic plan to open all of the regional offices. That's 2020. Well, I'm pleased to say that he will open the remaining 2 offices in Russellville and Hope in December of this year, completing that objective 4 years ahead of time. And finally, I want to mention this because we support our veterans, but those that currently serve in the military do so in our military installations in Arkansas that are so critically important to the defense of our nation and to the economy of our state. And so to support the military installations in Arkansas, I created the Military Affairs Committee out of the Economic Development Commission, and we put $400,000 in money to see how we as a state can better support our military personnel and the installations here to keep them strong, vital, and to make sure that Arkansas is the place that veterans and military retirees want to come and the place to be. Let me end by saying we just finished an election. And I think it is time for our country to unite together on bended knee and to pray for our leaders, to pray for those who serve our country overseas, to pray for our citizens that we might have unity, that we might have the same vision of freedom, a strong America, and support of our military that has served our country so well through the generations. Thank you. God bless our veterans, and God bless the United States of America.